What's up, people? Mike here, and this is Uncharted 4 Crushing Difficulty Walkthrough. This is Chapter 5, and barring the prologue, I guess is what you can call that, this is the first point when we're actually, like, having a gun and, like, shooting guys while they're shooting at us. Which is kind of weird for this series, because I think this is the longest like chapter wise before you actually like get thrown into proper combat in the game. Like Uncharted 1, like the very first level, you're shooting guys on the boat, and
Hector, you do that and you'll start a goddamn riot. Exactly.
Uncharted 2, while you're shooting like trank darts, you're, you know, dealing with guys when you're trying to break into the museum or whatever. With 3, you're like fighting guys in the beginning, and you're thrown into gun combat pretty soon after, but like just like fighting guys, even, you know, it's right at the beginning of the game. So for the most part for this thing, you can kind of let Alcazar, I think is what his name is, him and his henchmen like do most of the work here, since they have infinite ammo, and you can pretty much make it so that like you just have to put like maybe 1 or 2 bullets in the guys and they'll be dead. So coming up here, I get grabbed by this guy, and I didn't have this happen the first time I played the game, so it completely threw me off, and I was afraid I was gonna like get shot by one of the guards while this guy grabbed me, and it threw me off for a second. Since like the first time going through the game, like that never happened, and it was weird. It didn't seem like something that should have happened, but it did. So
Yeah, I'm fine.
but for the most part, going through here, you can take quite a few bullets before you are close to dying. For anyone that played the remaster versions of 1 through 3 that went through any of those on Brutal, the fact that you can take like 5 bullets and not be dead already is quite the wonderful feeling. Because let me tell you, doing that Uncharted 2 guide on crushing was tough. It was pretty difficult. So going through this game and being able to take like 5 bullets and not be already dead was very much a welcomed experience. And something else that they added is the previous games you always had an indicator when you got like a headshot, but this game they threw in hit markers just in general, which I feel like is something that should have always been in the game, since there were times when you're shooting guys where you weren't 100% sure if you had actually killed the guy or not. So having like the hit markers actually does help out somewhat. And once you clear out this area, make sure you pick up all the ammo you can get, and the assault rifle I have is the one that you want to hold on to, since as you can see I have like 120 ammo, and having all that ammo is very important when you come into this next area, since you need to avoid the turret gun, but then you also have like a couple wave of enemies that you need to deal with. But thankfully they're usually by like propane tanks, so you can easily deal with most of them. But once you, I don't know if you need to kill all these guys to trigger this rocket guy to come in, or if it's just like a time-based thing. But once this sequence is done, pretty much you just have to run. There's like another group of enemies that are shooting at you, but you can just completely run past them to the end of the level, and you'll be moving on to chapter 6.